Look closely at this creature. It has menacing claws, a thick protective shell, and it scuttles sideways. You would call it a crab, wouldn't you? But you are wrong. This is actually a hermit crab that has completely abandoned its snail shell to restructure its entire genetic code and DNA. It is a biological deception. For millions of years, nature has been repeating a strange glitch in the system, forcing unrelated species to become crabs. Welcome to an evolutionary nightmare that scientists call carcinization. It is a process more persistent than the tides and far more mysterious than we imagined. Why is the universe so obsessed with this specific shape? Why does life keep running into this armored trap wider than the Pacific Ocean itself? To understand this curse, we have to look back at the man who first named it and the terrifying patterns he discovered in the deep. In 1916, biologist Lancelot Borradaile noticed something unsettling. Evolution wasn't just creating variety, it was acting like a narrow funnel, forcing everything toward one design. Usually, evolution creates diversity, but for crustaceans, it is a dead end. No matter where you start, Mother Nature eventually squeezes you into this mold. Whether you are a long shrimp or a heavy lobster, the pressure of survival will eventually flatten your body and tuck your tail away forever. It is like a biological law. A round, flat body with powerful claws is the ultimate goal. But how can different species arrive at the same place? Is the crab shape a gift or a prison? Scientists are still baffled by why nature refuses to try any other design for these underwater warriors. This isn't just a coincidence. It is a recurring pattern that shatters everything we thought we knew about how life moves forward on this planet. We like to think evolution is random and unique. We want to believe that every creature is a one-of-a-kind masterpiece, but the truth is colder. Nature has an ultimate blueprint. It is so successful that evolution has hit the copy-paste button at least 5 independent times throughout history. Imagine 5 different inventors in 5 different centuries, all accidentally building the exact same car. That is the statistical impossibility of what we see. A crab is not just a species, it is a destiny. It is the inevitable conclusion for any creature that wants to dominate the ocean floor. Does this mean your own form is temporary? Could nature decide one day that the human shape is a mistake and reset us all? The ocean is full of these impostors, creatures that look like crabs, act like crabs, but share no common ancestor with the original crab family. Wait until you see the fake kings of the sea. Their secret is hidden deep within their blood, and it might just shock you. Meet the king crab. It is massive, expensive, and looks like the true ruler of the crustacean world. But this king is a total fraud. Genetically, they are just hermit crabs that went through a massive mutation. They got tired of borrowing shells and decided to become the shell. They grew legs longer than a human arm and bodies bigger than a dinner plate. They abandoned their soft tails to become living, walking fortresses. If you look at their DNA, they are closer to that tiny shrimp in your fish tank than the blue crab you see at the market. It is a masterclass in biological rebranding. Why hide in a snail shell when you can grow spikes and become the most feared predator around? But king crabs are just the beginning. The ocean is full of other animals wearing the crab mask to hide their true, lobster-like identities. If you think the king is a surprise, wait until you meet the most fragile actor in this evolutionary play. Meet the porcelain crab. The porcelain crab looks exactly like its name suggests. But touch it too hard, and it will literally drop its own claws to escape. This isn't a crab at all. It is a squat lobster that shrunk its long abdomen and hid it underneath to look like a crab. Why the disguise? Because being flat allows it to slip into narrow rock cracks that a normal lobster could never fit into. It is a master of camouflage. By copying the crab shape, it gained access to a whole new world of safety and food sources. Count the legs. Real crabs have 4 pairs of walking legs, but this imposter has only 3. It is a small mistake in an otherwise perfect costume. But this desire to be a crab isn't just a modern trend. It's a ghost story that has been haunting the fossil record for eons. Deep in the stone, we found a creature that shouldn't exist. A ghost from the past that shows nature was practicing long ago. Meet Carcinization, a prehistoric monster that looks like a failed experiment between a shrimp and a crab, frozen in time forever. It lived hundreds of millions of years ago, long before the first true crabs ever crawled out of the evolutionary mud. Nature was already rehearsing the crab design. It was testing the limits of the shrimp body, trying to fold it into something stronger. This fossil is proof that the crab mold is a recurring obsession. Whenever life gets too difficult, nature reaches for the same set of tools. It's like an ancient spirit that keeps returning. But the most terrifying part? Some animals are currently in the middle of this transformation. Look at the mantis shrimp. It is a colorful killer, but look closer at its body. It is starting to change right before our eyes. Some species of mantis shrimp are already seeing their abdomens shorten and their carapaces widen. They are on the road to crabhood. Imagine 10 million years from now, and this monster with a punch faster than a bullet will likely be just another crab on the beach. They are in the intermediate stage, a middle ground between a predator with a tail and an armored tank with claws. It is a slow, silent invasion, a transformation so gradual that we wouldn't notice it without looking at the deep history of their kind. Will their legendary speed remain, or will they trade their punch for the crab's legendary defense? Nature usually chooses the latter. But the crab's shadow isn't just limited to the water. It has crawled onto land and into the world of our 8-legged nightmares. Meet the crab spider. It doesn't spin webs. It doesn't wait in the dark. It walks sideways and looks exactly like its namesake. Even on land, the crab shape is a tool of dominance. This spider evolved this way to camouflage better and hunt with terrifying efficiency. They share no DNA, yet they share the same walk and the same flat body. The crab shape is like a universal skeleton key for survival. It is the perfect hunting form. Low to the ground, hard to spot, and ready to strike in any direction without turning around. Why did nature give this spider the crab's power? Because the design is so efficient, it works even millions of miles away from the ocean. The shape of a crab is the peak of biological engineering. But why is it better than a tiger or even a human? It all comes down to physics. A low center of gravity means you won't get flipped by the most violent waves in the sea. By tucking your belly under your chest, you protect your weakest point. You aren't just an animal. You are a living amphibious tank. In the eyes of evolution, the human body is full of bugs. We have weak knees and backs that ache. But the crab? The crab is perfect. It is a design that hasn't needed an upgrade in 200 million years. While we struggled to walk upright, the crab was already optimized. It can eat, fight, and move all at once without losing its balance. It is the ultimate survival machine in a world that wants to kill you. If the crab is the perfect shape for survival, Does that mean the future of the ocean is just one giant colony of claws? Is there a hidden force pushing life down this single path? Are we witnessing the slow death of diversity in favor of efficiency? It feels like a countdown. Every creature is just one bad environmental shift away from needing to evolve into a crab to stay alive. Science has an explanation for this. It's called convergent evolution. It's the same reason why every smartphone eventually became a black rectangle. The rectangle is the most efficient design for a screen. The crab is the most efficient design for a crustacean. Nature is just a practical engineer. Nature isn't confused. It doesn't care about being unique. It only cares about what works. If the crab mold saves your life, it will use it. It's not a curse, it's a solution. A biological standard that has been tested by fire, ice, and extinction for millions of years. You look down at your own hands. 5 fingers, soft skin, delicate bones. You feel safe because you are a mammal, don't you? Luckily, our bone structure is too different for us to grow 6 extra legs and start walking sideways, at least for the next few million years. But look at the pets in your aquarium. The process of carcinization is happening right now, silently and irreversibly, in the shadows of the reef. It's a slow-motion takeover. While we build cities, the ocean is building a better version of itself, one shell at a time. We are just visitors in a world that belongs to the armored ones. They were here first, and they will likely be here last. Next time you eat a crab, ask yourself, are you eating a real crab, or a creature that gave up its identity to become one? If alien life exists on distant planets, would they look like us? Or are they scuttling sideways across a toxic beach right now? Maybe the crab isn't just an earthly design. Maybe it's a cosmic law, the final form of all complex life in the universe. If you had to evolve into any animal to survive the end of the world, would you choose to become a crab? Well, tell us in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to uncover more creepy and mind-bending truths about our planet. The deeper we go, the weirder it gets. The ocean has many secrets, but the riddle of the crab is the most persistent one. Sleep well and watch your back and your sides. Evolution is a journey with many paths, but it seems they all lead to the same armored destination. Is this the end of life as we know it? The king, the porcelain, the fossil, and the spider, all joined by a single, terrifying shape. The design of the future is already here. They can survive the heat of volcanoes and the pressure of the abyss. No wonder nature keeps picking them for the winning team. It's biological perfection, a machine made of calcium and instinct. We are just witnesses to a process that will outlast our civilization, so I'll keep an eye on the shore. The next great transformation might be happening right under your feet as you walk the sand. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, stay questioning, and always be ready for nature's next big trick. See you in the next mystery. Technology mimics life, but life has been perfecting its tech for eons. The crab is the most advanced hardware on the planet, stronger than steel and more adaptable than any robot. The crab body is the ultimate goal of bioengineering. We are just catching up. In the green silence of the kelp forests, the impostors are watching. They are waiting for their turn to rule the world above. It's everywhere, from the deepest trenches to the highest mountain streams. The crab is the true global citizen of the animal kingdom. Could we be next? Probably not, but the thought remains. Is the human shape just a phase in a much longer journey toward the shell? Kings fall, empires crumble, but the crab remains. It is the ultimate survivor of the great game of life. It is the king of time. Listen to the whispers of the ocean. It's telling a story of armor, claws, and an evolution that never sleeps. The crab is calling. It's a beautiful, terrifying dance of DNA, a symphony of shapes that always ends on the same note, the note of the crab. Remember the word, carcinization. It's the future, the past, and the most confusing thing scientists have ever seen. Good luck out there. Will you be ready when the world turns to claws? Subscribe now and stay tuned for our next deep dive into the mysteries of life.